the odds, my actual group. So just give me a second to get that set up, and we will be right set to go. All righty. So tonight's discussion is critical points of positive self-talk and affirmation. And if you happen to pop on while I'm doing this, please feel free to say hello. Tell me where you're joining me from. And how's everybody doing out there tonight? I hope that everybody is doing well. I'd love to see some great interaction in our live chat tonight. Let's talk about it. Self-talk and affirmations. This is going to be good, so you don't want to miss it. Let's see here. Software, advanced settings. Let's go down here. All righty. Connect streaming software. How about we use the event log? Cancel that. And let's see how we did, you guys. Like I said, my first time using this type of software. So we will see how this is going to go tonight. And also, while you're out there watching, make sure that you are adding in. If you're out there and you're watching, I see that we have a couple viewers right now. If you're out there and you're watching, please do say hello to me in the comments so that I can say hello back and know that you're out there watching, because like I said, tonight is my first time using this type of software. So we'll see exactly how this goes. But I'm hoping that I'm able to do something a little bit different tonight, and hopefully with getting StreamYard up and running. But in the meantime, I'm also streaming on inside of our group, Define the Odds, and we'll be checking back and forth too on comments on that platform as well. So you guys, if you're out there and you're watching, make sure that you are tuning in to the platform so I can interact back and forth. So it looks like we've been live for about a minute now. And so as I said before, this is like a test run, but let's get started because we only have a few minutes tonight. Be before you about a half an hour to 45 minutes, but I got some juicy good stuff to tell y'all tonight. So y'all just hang on in there with me and let's just make this happen, okay? Get this hot hair off my neck so we can really get some work done here. Okay, so tonight's discussion is all about the critical points of positive self-talk and affirmations. And many of you out there may be asking yourself, okay, what does that have anything to do with me? Well, are you even aware of what self-talk is? Or are you even aware of how powerful, I should say, self-talk is? Because self-talk is extremely, extremely powerful. Hey, Kat, nice to see you, girl. Thank you so much for chiming in tonight. Let's see here. I'm going to look at my phone here too, just to make sure that I can see everyone in. My phone's acting crazy. Just hang on in there with me tonight, guys. This is my first time running StreamYard, so I'm trying to get it all up and running. It's been different for me. Very, very, very different for me. So just hang on in there. Okay. Yeah, so that's what kind of took place. There was a glitch there. So I apologize in advance, you guys, with why the streaming is not working directly to the group. But like I said, I have it running up on the other side. So we'll just keep it moving, okay? And I'm going to be more on my group side because that is where we're angling our conversation tonight. So let's go ahead and pick it up. We're talking tonight about positive self-talk and affirmations. So many of you have your idea of what self-talk is, but did you know that there's also negative self-talk and then there's positive self-talk? Somebody put that in the chat. Negative self-talk and positive self-talk. So when you understand that there's both negative and positive self-talk, you're going to want to begin to like navigate towards the more positive. Because how many of us wake up in the morning and say to ourselves, I just want this to be a bogus day. I can't wait for things to go wrong. Who does that? Nobody. Said nobody ever. I'm just saying. So what you want to do is you want to begin to tear down the negative bricks that you've built in your life over a certain period or amount of time. And then from there, you want to replace them with the thoughts and the words and the tone that you desire to have your life's outcome to be. Okay. So it's not as easy as it may seem, but it's worth it. So what self-talk in itself is what we say to ourselves internally. It's the thoughts, the beliefs, the chitter chatter, the things that take place in our heads that ultimately describe how you feel about you. And so the most critical point of self-talk and the most important factor behind self-talk is you. So then the question that we ponder is, what are you saying to yourself? What thoughts are overtaking your mind? What has you thinking in a space that you ought not be thinking in? Like, where is your thought processes and how is that aligning with the life that you desire to have? You see, internal communications and what you say to yourself is powerful. And when I say powerful, I mean powerful to the point that it gives you the ability to be able to create the life that you desire to have based upon the thoughts that you're thinking and based upon the things that you're putting out into the atmosphere. So that's why it's so important that once you recognize what type of self-talk that you're doing, it's important that you begin to start to tear those difficult things down, or those things that are poisonous almost to your system, taking those things out and replacing them with things that nourish, that encourage, that uplift, that motivate, and gets you closer to the outcome that you're looking for. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, tell me it makes sense. Put it in the chat. Y'all already know. All night. That's all I ask you to do. Talk back and forth to me because I'm live with you right here. I'm not distant. I'm present. I'm with you in this very, very moment. So I'm watching also my Facebook group, and I see that many are responding. So thank you so much for being active in the group tonight. But my most important point is that we have to understand that self-talk is probably the most powerful resource and tool that we possess, that we have with us each and every day, that has the ability to empower us or defeat us. Somebody put in the chat, empower versus defeat. Your self-talk has the power to either empower you or defeat you. And you know what's even crazier? It's up to you. Henry Ford once said that if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So we got to get to the point of understanding what is going on in our heads. What are we thinking? What are the things that we're saying to ourselves on a day-to-day basis? And understanding that self-talk will drive us to do the things that are either more uplifting or they'll drive us to the point of demise and no return. And yes, words are just that powerful. The Bible actually puts it this way. It says, the power of death and life lie within the tongue. So when we talk about how important it is that we recognize what we're saying to ourselves on each and every single second, every moment, and then we have to begin to practice so that we learn to change those things when we become aware of what we're saying, because I'm going to teach you tonight how to start to listen to what you're actually saying. And so it almost motivates you or preempts you to stop yourself in your tracks and rephrase, say something different. Is this really the outcome that I want? So when I'm looking myself in the mirror and I'm affirming myself, do I really think I'm beautiful? Or did I tell myself subconsciously 15 times that I'm ugly? Powerful. Your words are powerful, especially the ones that you speak to yourself are probably the most powerful. So what is positive self-talk? Let's get into this. Positive self-talk is choosing to talk to yourself in a way that inspires and encourages and uplifts you. You know, it's the act of directing your thoughts and your words to boost you up and to encourage you in self-love, confidence, and compassion. That's what self-talk is. Positive self-talk is. Like I told you before, that there is a positive self-talk and there's a negative self-talk. And tonight we want to put emphasis on positive self-talk and affirmation, because ultimately we desire to have a life that is whole. We desire to have a life that is full. And the only way for us to get that is if we begin to speak it. And if we actually begin to connect and believe it ourselves. So whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Remember, Henry Ford said that. Your words matter. And the words that matter the most are the ones you say to yourself. So we go back to the question I asked before. What are you saying to yourself? Tell me. Put it in the chat. I want to read them. What are some of the things that you get up each and every day and you say to yourself? Now, if you're a person that does positive affirmation and positive self-talk, I want to see it. I want to know, what are some things that you say to yourself on a day-to-day basis? And then I want you to get into the habit of saying those things multiple times throughout the day. I see I'm blessed by Dr. Janice Briggs. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, I want to hear back from you. I got to see it in the chat so I can read it off. I'm blessed. So each and every day, when Dr. Briggs gets up in the morning, when her feet hit the ground, she reminds herself, times 10, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. And if she's vocalizing that and she's saying these things out loud, it becomes an encouragement and it actually begins to shift the atmosphere around her. So the negative things that ultimately would try to come in, some things are things that are trauma bitten and they are connected to things that you've had to endure. So maybe you are like me out there and you come from a negative background. You come from a surrounding where you didn't have people who ultimately spoke kind things over you. So you only heard negative. You only heard people talk and say things that never built you up and never said things that actually made you feel like you were worthy, validated, or worth something. I'm here to tell you that you are not alone. I see that Dr. Baglin said that I can do all things through Christ. So every day she's waking up in the morning and she's declaring over herself that I can do all things. That's an affirmation. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So it don't matter what I'm facing off with today. Guess what? I can do all things. And it's not enough to say it one time. I can't reiterate enough. You've got to repeat these things over and over and over and over and over until it becomes actually a direct reflection of the fiber of your being, who you are. If you look yourself in the mirror every day, 20 times a day, and you saying I'm beautiful, if somebody comes along and says you're ugly one time a day, what type of wall you think they're going to have to get through to try to convince you, the person who said it 20 times in one day, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm precious, I'm favored, I'm blessed, I'm an inspiration, I'm an encourager, I'm an overcomer. You talking these types of talks to yourself each and every day. Let's say you're saying these words 10 times in the morning when your feet touch the ground and you get up and you're thanking God for life and breath in your body and whatever's to come. You know that you can do all things. Thank you, Dr. Bagley. Thank you so much. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And so because of that, my day is set. So it doesn't matter what negative things come my way. I begin to open my mouth and I decree and declare what it is that I want to see, what it is the outcome that I desire to have. So understanding that my words matter, and the ones that matter the most are the ones that I say to myself. Somebody put that in the chat. What matters the most are the words I say to myself. What matters the most are the words I say to myself. Positive self-talk is also the practice of positive thinking and self-empowerment. So it's your way of building yourself up through verbal affirmations that foster your belief. So it's not enough to just say it. You also have to believe what it is that you say. And that's where it gets tricky, folks. That's where things get tough. Because see, if you haven't started to get into a practice of hearing people say what it is and how it is, it makes it very, very difficult for you to be able to be accepting of those words. So it's going to feel foreign. When you first start to rise up and begin to speak those positive affirmations over yourself, it's going to feel almost like a foreign language, like you tap into something you don't even know or something you don't even recognize. And it's true. It's because it's something that you have not practiced. And remember, I always like to say, practice makes progress. Practice does not make perfect, because perfection to me is simply maturing. So as long as you're perfecting or maturing daily, hey, we're making progress, right? And that's what we want. We want a better life than, let's say, the life we had growing up. We want a better life for our children than the one that was maybe established for us. And I understand that that's not everybody's story. I get that. But a part of my trauma and the reason why I work so hard to empower others to transition from their trauma to their triumph is because of the fact that I know what that place and that space feels like. And because I am an individual who's compassionate and loves on people, I don't want anyone else to feel that. I don't want anyone else. And if there's anything that I can do, even if it means jumping on live twice a week, if it means posting positive affirmations every single day, if it means figuring out the tips and the tricks on how we can overcome together, then that's exactly what I'm going to do, because I'm that invested in you having the very best version of your life possible, because you deserve it. But I will tell you this, if you're going to really get into practice of saying the right things, one of the best tools and resources that you can use, and this is for me, is the Bible. The Bible tells you who you are. It decrees and declares who you are. And it tells you exactly what it is that you can do and what you can say in order to overcome, in order to be resilient, in order to bounce back from your setbacks, in order to transition from that trauma where you got stuck, where you got hurt, where people ultimately did not declare the right things over you. It tells you exactly what to say, how to say, and how you can make your way prosperous. Because you have to recognize the fact that it's not within your power. There are some things that you can do and some things that you have absolutely no control over. But when it comes to your self-talk, this is something that you can control. This is something that you have the power and the ability to be able to put out there and watch the fruit of its return come back up on you. What matters the most are the words I say to myself. Yes, thank you, Kat, for putting that out there. Hey, Donisha, thank you so much for joining us. And I just want to, look, talk to me now. That's right. You got to continue to keep that self-talk and all those good things coming in your direction. That is, if that's what you want to see come forth. You know, look, I'm going to go ahead and keep it 100 with y'all. And y'all know I do anyways. I don't know how to be nobody else but authentically Arletta. So I'm going to say it like this. It took a number of years of practice for me to begin to become aware of the things that I was saying, not recognizing the fact that it was sabotaging my own future, not recognizing the fact that because I didn't believe I was actually worthy of who God was positioning me to become, that I would just ultimately just give up on it altogether, because I did not count myself worthy to have the things that God was showing me, like the stages and the places he said he was going to take me, and the impact to all the women all over the nation, the world, the places that God promised me that he was going to take me. I didn't count myself worthy. And so what I was saying out of my mouth was not aligning with the blessing that God had declared over me. They were like in friction and button heads. God was saying one thing, Arletta was saying another thing. God was saying this and Arletta was saying that, and it wasn't lining up. So tonight we're going to practice our self-talk. So ultimately we start to align with the purpose and plan that God has for our lives too. But when you are aligned with the purpose and plan that God has for your life, you begin to decree and declare it out of your mouth. So you're not going to be speaking nothing negative when you know that you're relying upon God to be the one to deliver you or deliver your situation. You're going to watch what you speak because you recognize the power of words. You recognize the fact that if I speak death, death will come. But if I speak life, life will come. So which one do I want? What is it that I want out of life? What is it that I want to see happen? What is it that I desire? What is it? And be clear. Have clarity about it. So we talked a little bit about affirmations. Now, affirmations is the assertion that something exists or is true. It's a statement of validation and declaration that you speak over yourself that confirms your truth. Affirmations are not as tricky as what it sounds. Affirmations is something really simple that helps you to charge your language and helps you to be able to redirect those thoughts and what you're saying about your self-talk. And the way to do that is to, hold on one moment. The way to do that is to start off with these particular words. Someone put in the chat, I have. And then I want someone else to put in the chat, I deserve. Someone else put out there, I am. And someone else put out there in the chat, today is. We got that? I have, I deserve, I am, today is. Thank you so much for everybody that's participating. I have, I am, I deserve, today is. All right? Now, when you talk about having those positive affirmations, things that you're going to speak over yourself every day. So we're going to begin to make a daily practice of what it is that we're going to say to ourselves so that we are able to transform our self-talk from that negative Nancy space over to a positive space that exudes energy and encouragement and mobility towards motivation that lifts us up and transforms us into amazing change agents in this world. Because the world is lacking some things. And the reason why the world is lacking some things is because some of us are carrying around what it is that the world needs and we're keeping it to ourselves when actually we're supposed to disperse it. Yeah, there's a lot of evil going on in the world, but honey, listen when I tell you, there's also a lot of good. There's a lot of good happening too. I know because I'm actively making sure that I participate in it. I'm going to participate in the good things that are happening. So let's get into some of the things that you say to yourself. Number one, when you first rise in the morning, I know that Dr. Briggs put out there that she puts in there, I am blessed, that she says that every single day when she rises. Dr. Bragling said that I can do all things through Christ. That's a declaration. She says that that's also an affirmation. So someone help me out there finish some affirmations. We're going to begin to put some affirmations out there in the chat. I have. Someone finish that for me. Something positive that you can think of, that you can put out there. That could be something you could speak over yourself at least twice a day. In the morning when you rise and at night before you go to bed. What is something positive that can start your day off with the words, I have? And I can give you an example too. But I want some interaction. I have a beautiful family. Amen. That's beautiful. And also, I have everything I need. Period. That means I'm not wanting for nothing. I have everything I need. I see that Kat put, today is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Yes, today is. Today is. I am. Someone finish that one in the chat for me. I am. I am. I'm watching. I am. I deserve. I'll start us off. I am improving every day. I am grateful. I am enough. Has any of you out there ever felt like you've had people in your life that made you feel like you weren't sufficient for what they needed? Always making you feel like you're lacking something. Always making you feel like you're hitting the short end of the stick every single time, where it feels like you just can't. I deserve to be loved. Yes, I have been chosen. Yes, I am chosen. I am enough. Yes, come through. But now if y'all go and you look into the chat right now and just reading those out loud, I am the head only. That means she is not the tail. You got that? I am the head only. I have been chosen. I deserve to be loved. I am chosen. I am enough. Oh, yeah. Dr. Bagley, what that mean? Oh, yeah. I am beautiful. I am brilliant. I am educated. I am soaring. I am worthy. Let's get into these words. And think of all the things that we take the time and we say to ourselves that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That's basically just speaking just over our lives, negative energy and negative stuff. But we choosing every day to get up and say this stuff as if though it's not having no impact on our lives. But just in taking that little, 3 minutes that we took to go over those few affirmations, then you just feel yourself beginning to lift. Did you feel yourself beginning to change because of the affirmations? Because those words are powerful. Someone say words are powerful. Put that in the chat for me. Words are powerful. And they are. And you've got to get into it. So I comprised a list of why positive self-talk is so powerful. And then we're going to get into a few activities. So when moving forward with our positive self-affirmations and positive self-talk, one way of getting into self-talk practice is to get into the habit of getting up each and every day and saying each one of your affirmations. Let's say you gathered 5 of them, 5 affirmations that you're going to say to yourself every morning and every night before bed. You want to get into the habit of saying each one of them about 10 times. So taking about 3 minutes out of your day when you first rise in the morning And these are the things that you're going to speak into the atmosphere. I mean, you're going to verbalize them. You're not going to say them within yourself. You're not going to say them in your head. You're not, no. We're going to put those out into the atmosphere where they matter. Because see, when things are going all crazy, the enemy is acting out loud. So why aren't we declaring good things out in the open and out loud? We need to begin to verbalize, say what it is. Our words are powerful, and we need to activate the power that we have within. And so we start by those positive affirmations, and we begin to build up. So the reasons why positive self-talk is so powerful is because it motivates you to act on certain things. Whatever it is. What are you trying to do? Okay, I'm trying to get up. I'm trying to talk myself out of bed so I can get to the gym because I know it's good for me to work out, and I know it's good for me to be more active. And, you know, what are you saying to yourself to motivate yourself? Your words have the power to motivate you to move. The alarm goes off. You want to hit snooze so bad, but you know also that your health needs you to get up and work out. Your health needs you to get active. It needs you to take a walk. It needs you to do something. So what are you going to say to yourself to motivate yourself to action? That's your positive self-talk. Positive self-talk. It's very impactful. It helps you to concentrate on your goals. So when you're saying and you're speaking these things out of your mouth and not keeping them inward to yourself, you're actually activating something in your brain that's telling you that this is a positive, this is something good for me, and it's motivating you to stick to whatever goal it is that you set out there. It gives you the power to change your negative thinking. Someone put that out there. Change your negative thinking. Speaking positive self-talk allows you to change your negative thinking because, see, it's conflict, and one is going to override the other. Either you're going to put more positive out there or you're going to put more negative out there, but one of them is going to be more powerful than the other. And once again, the choice resides in you. What are you repeating, and how often are you repeating it? What can I do to make the difference? It gives you the power to change your negative thinking. That's right. Thank you so much, Kat. It helps to create a new belief system. Yes. Create a new belief system. Someone put that out there for me. When you're creating a new belief system, that's to come against everything else that you've ever been taught up until this point. Can we just scrap it? I mean, because listen, there are some things in life that we've learned that just aren't good for us. They're not good for our health. So why are we holding on to them? Why are we constantly trying to hold on to things that no longer serve us? Why are we still holding on to things that are not for our betterment? So we need to create a new belief system behind the things that we're saying, because you speak what it is that you believe that's going to come to pass. That's the importance of self-talk. That's the importance of knowing which direction that you're going, because you are declaring out of your mouth which direction you're going to go. I am going to be a billionaire. No, not I'm going to be. I am. let me fix that. And you see how quickly that turned around? Because when you get into a practice of saying something over and over, when you say it wrong, you are going to let you know. No, I'm not going to be anything. I already am. I'm just walking into it. It's already there. It's already done. I just have to walk into it. That's all. But it's already been decreed and declared. Creating a new belief system behind what you think about you and what you're saying to yourself ultimately changes your entire life. It changes the entire outcome of which direction you're going and exactly who you're going to be in this life. So once again, it goes back to, what are we saying to ourselves? Yes. Yes, indeed. What are we saying to ourselves? It helps to boost your self-esteem. Now listen, honey, look. Let me go ahead and put this out here. If you're waking up every day and you telling yourself how beautiful you are, at some point that thing gonna sink in on you. So at some point, you're going to be like, you're going to be out here wishing and daring somebody to say something different. You can't tell me I'm not beautiful. You can't tell me that I'm not changing lives. You can't tell me I'm not resilient. You can't tell me I'm not an overcomer. You can't tell me anything about Arletta because I love myself. I love her. So therefore, I'm not going to leave room for you to tell me anything. At least you can speak all you want, but I have the power and the ability to reject what you say. I don't have to allow for your words to sink in on me. You got that? It's all about what I'm telling myself. What do I believe about me? What do you believe about you? What are you saying to you? And do you believe the words that you're speaking? Remember, we started this thing off with what Henry Ford said. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So if you think you are or you think you're not, you're exactly right. I just happen to think that I'm beautiful. I don't even think I know. Okay. I know all about the essence. I know all about my gifts. I know all about all the things about me that glorify God. I know about my conversation. I know about my ability to embrace and to be compassionate. I know about the gifts that God has bestowed when it comes to my interaction with people and how I can relate to people, my transparency and my authenticity. I've learned those things over the last few years about me. And learning who I really am has caused me to look up and tell God, not only thank you, but I wouldn't change who I am for the world. There were so many times I wanted to be everybody else but me. And that was because of my lack of validation. Has anybody else ever experienced that? Have you ever had points in your life where you just didn't have those people in your corner telling you who you are? And so you had created this negative belief system about you that had absolutely no truth. But you didn't know it until you got into the practice of your own self-talk and beginning to listen to what you had to say and recognizing and coming to terms with what you believe about you. And that's ultimately what changes things. So, and lastly, your positive self-talk and what you're speaking over yourself also has the ability to release some really good feel-good hormones on the inside that make you just feel happier, makes you feel more blessed, makes you feel more aware, makes you feel good inside. So the more positive things you begin to decree and declare over you, the better you're going to feel altogether. You're just going to feel much better. So I want to encourage you all to not be a victim of negative self-talk. Someone put it out there for me. Don't be a victim of negative self-talk. Why, do you ask? Because you're listening. Because you are listening. What you're saying is going from your mouth to your ears. You're listening. So why would you want to open up your mouth and say anything other than positive things about you? Why would you want to do that? So many of you have children. I do too. I have 4 sons. And many of you have also witnessed those children looking to you for guidance. They're looking to you to figure out which way to go. And for those of you who may be watching this, viewing this, either in the replay or now live, some of you may not have children of your own just yet, or maybe you're not going to have children. But I'm saying this to say that whoever it is that is in your life that you are able to influence, then we want to make sure that we are modeling positive self-talk because they learn everything from watching you. If you're struggling with self-esteem, you best believe that the children that you're raising that have been gifted to you are struggling too. Because it's the environment. It's the atmosphere. It's what you're putting out there. So because of that, we want to make sure that we are mindful of what we're saying, how we're saying it, how we're responding, because we have little ones who are watching us and they're modeling our behavior. And do you really want them modeling the negativity that you speak over you? No, I didn't think so. We want to also go on to release some positive self-talk statements over ourselves to help guide us into what it sounds like. So beginning to say those things out loud, like I said, in the morning when you get up and at night before you go to bed, you're going to decree and declare those 5 affirmations 10 times each. Take about 3 minutes out of your day in the morning and 3 minutes in the evening and say those things out loud, not internally, but out loud, so that the atmosphere and everything is charged with it. And then you're going to become more aware of how changing your words matter before you can change your thinking. So before you can change your mind about what you think about yourself, you have to first change your words, because the declaration of speaking your words and hearing your words will then begin to change your mind about what you think about you. Does that make sense? So we want to become more mindful of the fact that our words need to change first before we can change our mindset. Okay? And I don't know how you've been taught it, but I'm telling you how I'm teaching it tonight. And I'm telling you what works. And this works. Change your words first and you'll change your mind. Because when you speak a word and you become mindful of what you're speaking, then it goes into your ears and it changes your thought processes and what you think about yourself. Self-talk ultimately becomes your self-image. It ultimately becomes what you think of yourself. So if you're speaking positively, then guess what? Those positive things are what's going to resonate with you. Them negative, when somebody, it's going to feel like somebody done took something and punched you in the face when somebody say something negative to you, because of how much positive you've been putting in. When you put that right dose of positive on the inside, you can't stand that negative. And the people that come with it either, honey, they got to go. If your attitude is negative, if the words you speak are negative, it's almost like I'm allergic to it. Like you come into my presence and something happens, like something shifts in me, and it's just like, ooh. I mean, it feels harsh, and it feels like your body ultimately just rejects it automatically. Anybody else ever been there? Yes, the rejection of the negative energy. You can't have my peace. You don't know the price I paid. You don't know what I had to give up to tap into this peace. So I just can't let you barge up in here and take my peace. I need my peace. So that means that you got to go. You got to be dismissed. I can't wait to be that role model for my child. I will be blessed to experience motherhood. Yes, you will. Speak that, Kat. You already know. So yes, you want to make sure that you are saying these things out loud. When you recognize that you're changing your words, then you begin to change your thinking. But the words have to change first. So what are you speaking? What are you affirming each and every day? So what I wanted to do with y'all is like a little activity that we could do like with a piece of paper, but I decided that it's probably not going to work in this format. But I can show you guys kind of what it was going to look like. And you can do this at home too. It's real simple. Let me see. I want to make sure that I'm as close to this side of the board as possible. You want to make it's not an octagon, and it's not a pentagon. Whichever one has 6 sides. Whichever one. Y'all, what they call that? Put it in the chat. Tell me what they call the one that has 6 sides. I can't remember. You want to put in the middle of that. Now you can do this on just a regular piece of paper, okay, and then cut it out with the scissors, okay? And I would suggest that you get like a piece of construction paper and do it that way, because it'll be pretty and it's something you can carry around with you in your wallet. But this is something I want you to do on your downtime. But I want you to put my positive self-talk in the middle. So pay attention, y'all, because this is going to be some of your key takeaways. And then on each petal of the flower, we're going to do, okay, I never said I was an artist, so let's go ahead and get that out the way. So before y'all try to judge me, I didn't say nothing about me being, an artist. Oh, Erica, you think it's an octagon? Honey, I promise you I don't know what it is, but I'm happy to see you out there. Hey, sugar. Okay, so my positive self-talk. So what you want to do is just take a piece of paper, y'all. It don't matter. In the middle, you want to put my positive self-talk. I'm going to move my microphone back a little bit so that y'all can get into this piece. I hope y'all can still hear me okay? I hope so. Okay, so my positive self-talk. And inside of each leaf, this is how you're going to cut them all out, but don't leave them attached to the centerpiece. And you're going to write in, I am, and then you finish it with whatever positive affirmation you want to put in there. So I'm going to put beautiful, because I put some emphasis on that earlier. How can't nobody tell me different? Okay. Because I done been through some things, and there was a time in my life where I felt real ugly, and life tried to make me feel down and made me feel low, worthless, nobody, I put in a lot of work to change that about me. And now I'm loving on me. And I just can't let people walk in and take that from me. It's just a no for me. So I am I'll put an overcomer. Y'all hear this one from me all the time. Because in this community, we don't call ourselves community members. We call ourselves overcomers, because that's what we are. Okay? I'm going to put up here, I am resilient. Because, man, I done have plenty of setbacks. I don't know about y'all. Y'all had some setbacks too? Yes, indeed. I done have plenty of them. But it's not about the setback. It's about the attack on the setback. How are you coming back from what tried to knock you down? And the other thing is, too, knock you down. We ain't staying down there. We were not built to stay on the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to be resilient and we're going to bounce back. That's what we do. And that's what I teach in this group. We are overcomers. So in order to be an overcomer, you have to be resilient. Because, see, life happens to us all and none of us are exempt. Somebody put it in the chat. Life happens to us all. None of us are exempt. So therefore, I am resilient. Somebody give me another one to put up here. What else should I put up here? I am what? We got 3 more. Give me 3 more I am statements. Yes, that's right, Erica. We sure are. Life happens to us all. You better say that. Come on. So let's go. Somebody tell me. I need 3 more affirmations to put here on our flower. What else we got? I did write down I am enough. Right? I am a leader. And I actually wrote I am enough twice. I guess I needed to hear that. I am worthy. Because sometimes after being told so many things that you're not, you need somebody to come along like me to remind you that you are worthy, and that you deserve all the good things that are happening to you and that God has already orchestrated for you. I will prosper through it all. Yes, ma'am. Get your affirmations on, girl. Okay? So, last but not least, okay, we're at the 48-minute mark. So, guys, I'm going to run down to you the last tips on how to practice your self-talk daily, okay? And then we're going to wrap it up and we're going to say good night. That's going to end our talk this week on positive self-talk and affirmations. Okay, so tips on how you can practice this every single day. You can start with your flower. Take this flower, and then you want to take, after you cut it out your piece of paper, you want to fold those leaves over, and you want to just set it in your wallet. Carry it with you everywhere you go. And when you're feeling that irritation and you're feeling down a little bit about yourself, you want to whip that thing out, and then you want to begin to say your I am statements. I am resilient. I am enough. I am worthy. I'm a leader. I'm beautiful. I'm an overcomer. This is my positive self-talk for me. And these are some things that you can go ahead and you can begin to speak these things over your life right now, today, tonight, before you go to bed. Don't hesitate. Get into the practice of saying positive things about you. And remember, you don't want to fall for the negative self-talk. So here are those tips. Number one, put it out there in the chat for me. I'm just going to name them off. I need y'all to type them out there for me. Don't fall into the negative self-talk. Why would I tell you not to fall into the negative self-talk? Because after a while, you begin to personalize that negative self-talk. Whatever you're saying to yourself, you're blaming yourself for it, and it's negative. Doesn't mean you will. You begin to magnify by only acknowledging the negative things of your story. When you're telling your story, you want to put emphasis on all the negative things, but you're not talking anything about the positive. That's why you don't want to fall into the negative self-talk. It's also polarizing, where it seems like everything is either black or white and there is no gray matter. And that's not true. Everything can be brought to fruition in a different way when you talk about your self-talk. So number one, don't fall into the negative self-talk. Number two, treat yourself like you would a friend. Stop talking crazy to you. Okay, because number one, you don't deserve it. Number two, you are your best friend. When it really boils down to it, how you think of yourself is going to show up in your life. And so if you really, really want positive things to start happening, you better learn today, tonight, right now, in this moment, how to talk to you. And you start that by thinking of yourself as the very best friend that you have in the world. And so you're going to treat yourself like you would a friend. Number three, you're going to make your self-care a priority. I don't care what it is. Look, if you just went to the store and you decided to get yourself a Mr. Goodbar, I don't care what it is, whatever it is, each and every day, figure out how to do something special just for you. Whatever that means. Your self-care could mean you taking a walk. Your self-care could mean you watching your favorite movie. Your self-care could mean you going to bed an hour earlier than what you normally would because you need that extra rest and you're prioritizing your rest. So make yourself a priority is absolutely right. Number four, limit exposure to negativity. And we talked about that earlier. You got to start putting up blocks for some of these people that are surrounding you in your life that don't mean you no good. Some people have overstayed their welcome and they should have been dismissed from your life. And they're the reason why you can't prosper. And they're the reason why you can't move forward is because of the fact that these people are negative and they're draining you. So look, the next tip you want to do is number four, limit exposure to negativity. Number five, you want to continue to practice gratitude. We've been talking about gratitude for a number of weeks in our community here. And it's because gratitude causes you to focus on the good things. So when you're talking about positive self-talk, if you have a gratitude journal and you're waking up each and every day and you're practicing gratitude, then ultimately what you're doing is you're focusing on the good things. You're focusing on what's good in my life. So if you're starting off each and every day writing in your gratitude journal, and I do have one that I write in every single day. I actually have it right here. It's my gratitude journal. And I write in this thing every single day, you guys. Every day. And what you can do is you begin to focus on the things that are good. You're not going to write in your gratitude journal that you're grateful for something negative that happened. That's craziness. No, you're writing positive things. So You being able to practice gratitude helps you to focus on the good things. Number 6, change your vocabulary. Eliminate I can't from your vocabulary. And change every time you want to say I can't, change it to what you can. I can. I can't and I can. I do believe I wrote down an example of that on one of my papers. I don't remember where I wrote it at, but I had an example written down about when you're saying what you can't do, and then how you transform that over to what you can do. So you're practicing gratitude, and then you're going to move into changing your vocabulary, eliminating the words I can't. We're going to eliminate I can't, and we're going to move into what I can. So also, number 7, you're going to take the time out and remove yourself from negative situations and put yourself into a positive environment. So number 7 is take a time out. Somebody put it out there. Take a time out. And what that means for you is that when you find yourself in a negative situation, know how to get yourself out of that negative situation, even if it means you just have to extract yourself. If people aren't moving around from your circumstance, or you're at work or whatever it may be, figure out what you need to do. I don't care if you need to take a unexcused bathroom break. Take that second and go in that stall and woosah. Get it together. Pull your flower out your wallet and get to talking to you. And watch that positivity rest on you, so that your attitude is not affected by other people's garbage. You don't need that. So next we have post positive affirmations. Why? Because it changes your mindset. 8 is post positive affirmations, because it changes your mindset. And the one way to change your mindset is to have things all around your home that are positive. Every room you go into, you see something positive, some type of positive. Like I have my surrender prayer up here on my wall. And normally I have written on here all the things that I surrender to. So when I walk into my office, first thing in the morning, the first thing I see is all the things that I've surrendered to God that I don't need to worry about. Why? Because God has them under control, and He is in control of everything. So I'm not going to worry about things I can't control. I'm going to rely on me affirming what I know to be true, what I am able to do, what I can do, and not what I can't. Okay. Number 9 is find humor. Laughter is definitely good for the soul. So you want to find reasons to laugh. I don't care if it's watching a good movie. I don't care if it's being around your friends, your family that just bring good vibes and good energy, whatever it takes to make you laugh and makes you happy, because laughter does make you happy. It makes you feel good on the inside. And that's the whole purpose of positive self-talk, is to get back to feeling good about ourselves. Okay. And so number 10 and the final one, and I always say this every single week, I revert back. If all the things that we listed 1 through 9 has not worked for helping you to begin to speak positivity over your life, then it probably means that you need to seek a professional. You can either continue to join me here every single week, and we can build out and figure out and pinpoint where that self-talk origin came from, which I've already pinpointed mine. And like I said, I'm still working on me. It's really a lifelong process to really try to undo some of the traumatic things that I've seen and heard in my life. But every day I'm choosing me. Every day I'm choosing to show up. And therefore, you don't have to do it alone either. So every day we can choose together. You can show up in this community. You can message me, and we can talk about some of those things that you've gone through. We can unpack those things, and we can move safely from our trauma to our triumph. And we can do that by having positive self-talk. Okay, and so what happens is that when you seek out a counselor, a therapist, or you seek out a trauma recovery coach such as myself, what we do is we help you to flip the script on the things that were negative, the things that maybe have bound you in life from earlier in life that have just been tearing you up. And we help you to see it in a different light. And so therefore we flip the script. So you got 10 things now that you can do right now today that you can begin to start your positive self-talk and self-walk. Okay, so we're going to do a positive self-talk walk. That's a mouthful. My positive self-talk walk is going to involve me being able to be relentless and repetitive in my self-talk so that I become more self-aware and I change my self-image. So I won't become a victim of my negative self-talk because I'm going to remember each and every day that I'm the one that's listening and I'm most important. So I'm going to become more mindful of what I say to myself. And last but not least, into those last 10 items that I gave you. Treat yourself like you are, you don't want to fall into the negative self-talk. Treat yourself like you would a friend. Make self-care a priority. Limit your exposure to negativity. Practice gratitude. Change your vocabulary. Take a time out. Post positive affirmations. Find humor and work with a professional if necessary to help you to get to that space that we need to get to, okay? I love you guys, and we have reached 58 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up tonight, and I'm going to say goodnight. I want to say thank you to everyone who chimed in on tonight, who spent this hour with me for our weekly live discussion. Thank you so much. I love you all so much, and I couldn't say, I can't say it enough because it's true. It's true. I just love you, and I thank you that you take the time to come and spend an hour with me each and every week while we work on ourselves. You know, we work on being better versions of ourselves and being better individuals, just better humans. You know what I'm saying? Because we need that. And ultimately, it rubs off on those around us too. And so I'm just so grateful and thankful that you guys took the time out to really be out here and to be in this group and to learn with me once again about our self-talk and how we see ourselves and what we can do to change that. So I hope that it was empowering for you all. I hope that all of you guys got something out of our talk this week. And once again, I'd like to remind you, if you're out there and you'd like to figure out ways that you can be a blessing to the platform and keep this platform going, you can go to www.arlettaallen.com, where you're able to purchase a copy of Who Influenced You. It helps me to keep my live videos and all of my platforms going. So all the proceeds go to my online platforms to continue to help me to build and continue to get the word out, to continue to help people, really is what I'm doing. So if you want to support, if you're out there and you've been a huge support, or you feel like this channel has helped you in any type of way, this community builds you, a way that you can show me love and support is by going and purchasing a couple copies of my gratitude anthology, which talks about my gratitude practice too, which is what I talk about in the group. And it's going to teach you exactly how you can continue to move those things ahead in your life. I just simply tell the story of 3 people who have blessed my life enormously. I am who I am today because God has used my mistakes. You know, he didn't let anything go to waste. So I'm grateful and I'm honored for each and every one of you. I hope that you will. Yes. Praise God. Thank you so much, Erica, for really, really being there for me and sowing seed into my life. Thank you to everybody that's on the platform, even those of you that catch it on the replay. Thank you for those of you that have gone to my website and ordered 2 copies of my book. I told you guys it cost you $50 exactly. And I have to sell 100 copies of the book before I get all 100 so that I can autograph them and put a special message in them and send them out. So I think I'm at about 40 some odd copies I've sold. So I need to sell another 60 some odd copies before I reach to my goal so that I can get all the books in and get them shipped out to you guys. So thank you to everyone who's already gone out there and ordered copies of my book and show so much love and support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, I'm going to be selling pound cakes and cookies and all types of wonderful, amazing Southern style treats over the holidays. So if you're in the Arlington, Texas area and you need a sweet treat for the holidays, I'm your girl. And even so, I'm figuring out how I can actually ship cookies, pound cakes, and pies. So I'll be putting something out there as well. I've already put pricing out there. I'm going to go back and make sure that I put out the rest. So thank you guys so much for all that you do and all that you continue to do to keep this platform going. Don't forget, invite your friends, invite family members, people that you know that can benefit from the lessons that we share in this group. Don't forget to invite. I want to send a very special shout out to Miss Erica, because on this week I received quite a few invitations that she sent out to others to join the group. And you guys, whenever you invite someone to the group, I get the notification. I know who's actually inviting others to come and join us. So many people need to get unstuck. And this is your way of doing your part in the world. So many people need the information that we are harboring in this community. The community is private, so therefore everyone does not have access to it. So we want to create that exposure. We want to invite other people in so they can be healed, so they can be made whole, so that they can be affecting those that are around them too. And this is how we do our part in the world. This is how the world gets better and the world heals, because each and every one of us as individuals are doing our part. So thank you to everyone who takes the time to invite people to the community so that we can continue to grow. My goal is 1K members by December. So I think so far we have close to 400 members. Another 600 in the next 2 months. I believe we can do it. I believe it's so. So let's make it happen. All right. I love you guys. Have an amazing, amazing week. And I'll be chiming in all throughout the week, giving you wisdom nuggets that are surrounding our self-talk. God bless you all. Have an amazing night. Bye. Yes, indeed. All righty. Look at here. I see that Miss Victoria Kibler was online. So you guys, you were able to see on this platform. Wonderful. I didn't see that there were many that were able to chime in on this area, but thank you guys so much for being here with me. And thank you while I'm testing out new software and trying to figure this thing out. I'm going to get better as the weeks go on. I love you guys so much. Have an amazing, incredible night. And if you have not joined the private Facebook community entitled Define the Odds, Transitioning from Trauma to Triumph, please do take a moment out and go and join this group as we are discussing some amazing topics. And I love to hear your feedback on how we can help you to grow as well. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful and blessed night. I'll see you next Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.